I welcome you to this unique free online literature class, Literature Hub 247. We are still on that interesting non-African prose titled Parts of Lucas, written by Susanne Bellefeuille. On this platform, we discuss the plot summary. We've also discussed chapters 1 to 34 of this novel on this platform. If you need the link to those videos, you can make your request to the comment section and it will be sent to you. And this is the last chapter of the novel. Let me also inform you that all the videos are linked together, right from the plot summary and also all the chapters. Just make sure you watch one to the end and the next video pops up. Let's go into the classroom and see what happens in the last chapter. In the last two chapters, that is chapter 33 and 34, we've been recording some tragic events. We recorded the death of Richard, also the death of John, Lucas' father. In the last chapter, we recorded the death of Isabel, Lucas' wife. Now let's see what happens in the concluding chapter of the novel. Lucas becomes emotional as he stares at Lucy on the bed and remembers Isabel, his wife. He feels Lucy squeezing his hand again, and her eyes appear as if it wants to open. He hears Danny calling him as he enters the room with his wife, Emily. He hugs his grandfather and looks at his mom, who is strapped to many machines. Ria also follows with Kayla, his wife, and then Dwayne, Johnny, and Mark, their father. Lucas hugs his grandsons and their wives, who are all emotional, and prays that Lucy comes out of the coma she is in. Lucas allows Mark to sit beside Lucy because he knows that Lucy will squeeze his hand and will then understand what is happening to her. Mark holds Lucy's hand and the children kneel around her, crying quietly. Lucas empathizes with the children for what they are doing going through because of what's happened to their mom and the losses he endured. Lucas focuses on Mark holding Lucy because he expects Lucy to squeeze his hand. It's not long before Lucy squeezes Mark's hand. Lucas is elated when Mark smiles in response to the squeezing of his hand by Lucy. Mark then tells the children that their mom just squeezed his hand. Lucas also testifies that he saw it. Each of the children has a feel of their mother's hand, and they believe their mother is trying to communicate with them. Mark kisses Lucy and notices that she tries to open her eyes. He alerts the others about this, and they all stand around her waiting. They are waiting for the next action. Lucas is happy to see the joy on their faces as they gather around their mom. He smiles and he feels tension around his chest. He holds on to Lucy's bed to ease the pain. Mark sees this and asks him if he's okay. He replied that he's fine, but a little tired. Remember that he has been feeling pains in his chest. As Kayla tries to comfort Lucas, they all hear Lucy moaning. They focus on her and see her moving her head slowly. Mark and Danny call her, and Mark tells her, rubbing her cheek, that they are all with her in the hospital. Ria repeats the same thing, touching her knee and tells her to wake up. Lucy calls Mark faintly and asks him what happened and where her father is. Mark explains that she was involved in an accident and that her father is standing by her bed. Lucas moves closer, tells her he's there and tries to hold her hand. Lucy tries to open her eyes and tells Lucas that she has a vivid dream about him. Remember, Lucas is narrating his life history, so she's feeling that it was a dream. In response to Lucas' question, Lucy, trying to focus on Lucas' face, explains that Lucas was narrating his life history. Lucas is amused, and as he smiles, he feels another pain in his chest, but tries to hide it. Lucy continues that it was a great dream. His father expresses his happiness that Lucy has come around and says she is a strong person. He heard that he's lucky to have a daughter like her. As Lucas speaks and smiles, he's becoming short of breath. The two of them express their love for each other. Lucy raises her hand to touch her father, and Lucas helps her to lift it to touch his face. He then tells her that he will call to tell her brothers that she has survived the accident. The pain is already crossing through Lucas' hand at this moment. Lucy gazes at him as he is about to leave and tells him not to be long. Lucas looks at her and sees Isabel's last gentle smile before she dies. Remember Isabel. He tells Lucy and the boys that he will be back because he just wants to call their uncles. Lucas feels another chest pain as he walks towards the phones. Dr. Wright comes to the monitor. Dr. Wright comes in to monitor Lucy. He tells Mark and the children that Lucy is making progress toward full recovery. He tests her reflexes and confirms that she's not paralyzed. Mark gives a sign of relief and thanks the doctor. Lucy's children also appreciate him for saving their mom's life. Lucy is coming around fully, and she now sees everyone around her and begins remembering what happened to her. She remembers that she was going to visit her father when she had an accident. She looks around and asks about her father. Mark responds that he just went out to call her brothers. Lucy tells Mark that she had a dream about the life history of her father, and it looks so real. Mark tells her that she has been in a coma and that it must have been just her dream. As Lucas hangs up the phone after the call, he feels another shock in his chest. He walks toward Lucy's room, and another pain hits his chest and takes his breath away. He tries to catch his breath and holds on to his throat. He finally catches his breath and starts walking toward Lucy's room again. In Lucy's room, Mark smiles at her, and her children are also happy for their mom. In the euphoria of Lucy's recovery, Lucy asks with concern about her father. Mark replies that he has told her that he just went out to call her brothers. Lucy, entertaining fear, complains that he has gone too long. Then responds that Lucas will soon be back. Johnny promises to get Lucas if he doesn't come on time. She thanks Johnny and others for being there for her as they gather around her, chatting to make her happy. Mark is amused watching the children interacting among themselves and their mom. Lucas is about to reach Lucy's room when another jolt that brings him to his knees hits his chest. He falls flat on the floor because he doesn't have any strength to raise himself. As he lies flat on the floor, he hears beautiful music and bright light. He feels his soul leaving his body and sees Isabel, so beautiful, beckoning to him. He smiles, reaches his hand to hold Isabel and follows her. He then sees a nurse running toward his soulless body. He's dead here because the soul is no more in the body. The nurse runs towards Lucas' body and calls for help. She later discovers that the man is Mr. Clarkson, Lucy's father. She discovers that there is no pulse in his wrist. Other nurses also try their best before the doctor takes over. It's the doctor who eventually pronounces Lucas dead. The doctor and the nurses then go to Lucy's room to break the news. The joyful atmosphere they meet in the room doesn't permit them to break the news immediately. Mark and the children think the doctor has come to check on Lucy, but are surprised that it's about Lucas. The doctor tells Lucy emphatically that her father had a massive heart attack in the hallway. By the time they found him, they tried their best, but had already died. Lucy couldn't believe what she heard from the doctor. She says her father just left to call her brothers about her recovery. Mark and the children are in shock, while the children gather around their mom to console her as she cries. Lucy stops crying suddenly when she sees something unusual through the window and smiles. Two beautiful rose-breasted grosbeaks are singing on the ledge, and a gorgeous monarch butterfly flies its wing above two boards. She believes that the scenario reveals that her father and mother are together with Richard, her brother. Though she grieves over her father, she remembers that her parents have a strong bond. She concludes that it's good that they are together again. She also remembers the butterfly her father saw during Richard's funeral and the bird at the hospital when her mother died. She joyfully reminisces about her family and says, loved ones are being reunited, quote unquote. The remarkable recovery of Lucy surprises everybody the following week, including the doctor, who is impressed. She has the determination to be at his father's funeral, where she is able to read the eulogy she composed by herself. That was part of Lucas. The plot summary through all the chapters, that is from chapters 1 to 35. As I told you, all these videos are linked together. Just make sure you watch one to the end. So we are also going to discuss the themes, the character analysis, as well as the narrative techniques. So let's be on the lookout for this. If you are new on this platform, try and click on the subscribe button and the bell icon so that you'll be notified whenever any video is produced. If you have any question or comments, you can send it through the comment section and it will be attended to. Like this video, you are free to share it on any social media platform. Invite your friends and colleagues to join us. Now let's meet in the next class. Thank you and God bless.